You are about to witness bodily dismemberment, sub-zero temperatures, and all-out mayhem. Brought to you by the Frontline Network.
Sup, CUH fans, and welcome to the 12th Company of Heroes 2 beta cast, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and my good friend Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, FatalSaint? I am very happy to be here because we have a very special episode, a very special beta cast today. It could very well be the last time you get to see a cast of its nature, because it is something that we haven't yet done in all 12 beta casts leading up to this one. It's a mirror, well, a sort of a half mirror match. We've got mixed teams. We've got on one side, we have, well, we can't really call them Axis and Soviet, because we have an Axis and a Soviet team versus an Axis and a Soviet team.
Yeah, exactly. It's double mixed teams, and it's Twister and DanielD on one. We'll just call them Team 1, because you can't call them, as you say, the Axis or the Soviet team or whatever.
Well, they actually went
mixed.
by NKVD, didn't they? That was their name in the tournament.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
This is a tournament game. This came from the Sunday Night Fights sort of qualifiers leading up to the live broadcasting games.
Yeah, exactly. And who do we have on the opposing team?
On the opposing team, also mixed, we have Spanky and Arashenstein.
Two great teams. I think it's going to be a really good map, and a really good match on the map Moscow Outskirts. I really enjoy this map. It's like totally the best 2v2. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. At the 5-second mark, you ready to go, Tommy?
I'm ready.
On pause in 3, 2, 1, on pause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm very interested in this match as it's mixed versus mixed, and it's going to be very strange seeing Soviet troops attacking Soviet troops and whatever. But at the same time, you can do different things. Some players I've seen in a replay lately that we didn't cast, I just watched it on my own, where one player went for just 2 conscripts into tier 1 to get a truck with a sniper in, etc. And some people go for the 4 conscripts, etc. So there's still a possibility of different things happening, even though it's mixed versus mixed, and it's generally gonna be mainline infantry versus mainline infantry of the same. And then obviously the micro comes into the equation to see who takes the best cover and throwing grenades around each other and whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see anyways, even though it will be most likely a bit strange seeing conscripts shooting conscripts and grenadiers shooting grenadiers.
Yeah, it's it is going to be a little odd, to say the least, because we've never casted a mirror match in in all of our games, Vico, because I remember when the game first came out, the original game back in 2006. I believe in the beta before the official release, they also had mirror matches in.
In one stage of the beta, I do remember playing mirror matches. I think it was I played quite a lot of 2v2s back then with one of my in real life friends, and I think we played versus the CPU quite a lot. We did quite a lot of skirmishes and whatever, and I do believe that we actually did double axis versus double axis CPU players. So I'm pretty sure there were some mirror matches in one of the beta stages there.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I think Relic just wants to sort of play around with and test out. The likelihood is, this is just speculation on my part, but the likelihood is that mirror matches aren't going to make it into the retail game, just judging by the way that they've approached them in the beta, because obviously they weren't in auto match, they were only in custom games, so very few people actually played them. But they were used for the purposes of this tournament, because the tournament organizers wanted to see what happened when you gave people the ability to use mixed teams. Would they take that ability, or would they rather go for double when you take all ethics and things out of the equation and just what is most effective?
Yeah, we did have actually, quite funnily enough, the combat engineers from Spanky took the house on the left-hand side of the map. At the same time, the combat engineers from Twister took the house on the right-hand side of the map, and then got some reinforcements in the form of conscripts, and he's got a second conscript squad coming in as well. We do have the fuel point on the right-hand side actually contested, and he's most likely going to at least get the decap and stop some of the fuel income from the Soviet players here. At the same time, the fuel from the left-hand side was also decapped due to that cutoff taken by the combat engineers that got into the house, and that forces a retreat on one of the grenadier squads from DanielD. He's gone with 3 grenadiers start with a mortar building now as well, and I'm not exactly sure if that mortar is in response to the MG that I saw Spanky built. Was that the first unit he actually built? He built
that was the first unit he
Tier
built. Yeah,
2
he built
MG conscript. That's a weird build order.
It is weird. I guess, you know, people are trying to sort of think what is the most effective kind of synergy that you can get going with a mixed team. So, you know, you get these MGs, because it seems weird to get an MG when you consider that obviously the Austere Tier 1 gives you the MG42, which is basically superior. You know, it's you know, in terms of suppressing and killing and just about everything, it is better. And actually we have both an MG, a Soviet MG and an MG42 over here on the right-hand side shooting at a building here, but those engineers are pretty sturdy when they're inside that cabin.
We have a Soviet MG from Spank on the left-hand side. Did actually fire a little bit. He now flipped it, but the 3-man Gren squad from DanielD is flanking that, and that MG is forced to relocate again. The problem with this is, however, that the Soviet support weapons are all 6 men. The mortar 6 men, the AT gun is 6 men, the MG is 6 men. It takes quite a while to actually kill 6 guys on a support weapon like an MG, for example. So this MG from Spanky is just gonna run away from the grenadiers that nab the house on the left-hand side. I'm guessing that you're taking care of the right-hand side, and you people at home watching will see most of the action in picture-in-picture from Tommy's point of view on the right-hand side, while I will be focusing on the left-hand side on DanielD and Spanky's fighting each other here. We do have the Soviet MG now actually suppressing that MG42 built by DanielD, but he doesn't really care about that. He's gonna set up and deliver some hurt back to that MG.
Over here on the right-hand side, we had conscripts and combat engineers forcing away the Austere player, using the building cover to really keep the enemy away. And we have our first little clown car out. It's the light scout car from Titty Twister going over here to the right-hand side. It's got a flamer garrisoned. It's going to be very effective, but the grenadiers are going to pop a Faust now. And it was already quite low health, so there's a damaged engine already with a fairly low hit points, and the grenadiers actually coming off with quite a bit of health even after that engagement there, but the scout car is forced to back away.
We have one of these odd engagements now in the center of the map. Conscripts from Spanky fighting the conscripts from Twister at the same time, both kinda in green cover, but only Twister's conscripts are actually getting the green cover due to the directional cover nature of heavy cover in Company of Heroes. But he did get attacked now straight up by the other conscript squad, and he's going to be forced to retreat at 2 men back to base. At the same time, DanielD is now trying to dislodge Spanky from the center, and I actually see a second MG now in the center as well from Spanky. Nice flip on it as well to suppress that Gren squad from DanielD, forcing him to retreat. He's trying to focus fire him down now on retreat. Very low health at 2 men. But the conscripts are losing out to this 3-man grenadier squad now, and that mortar that DanielD actually built is doing a pretty good job at dislodging these support weapons from Spanky in the center now.
We've got this 6-man MG getting flanked by conscripts. It looks really bizarre. Whoa, very nice, very nice. But those flames coming in from the rear, and another MG firing at very long range. Wow, that Soviet MG has really got quite a bit of distance on it.
The cone is fairly small on the Soviet MG, but it does seem to have quite a long distance that it can actually fire, so that's actually pretty good. We have tier 2 up for DanielD now, and his first vehicle is producing. It's going to be one of the Austere half-tracks, and he also has above 120 munitions, so he could transform that into a Flammenwerfer instantly if he needs to.
And I'm sure we will be seeing that, because everyone knows who's been playing the beta since it started, that the most popular strategy to emerge has been the use of those nasty Austere Flamer half-tracks. Although, worth mentioning that actually in one of the recent tournament games, we saw Marcus go up against Cepha, and I believe that who is it? I think Cepha used the fast Austere Flamer half-track strategy himself. And Marcus actually countered very well. He has his own nifty little counter, which was to get either a scout car or a half track, I can't remember, with the guard squad inside. So he had that kind of mobile light AT doing constant damage, and the Flamers not doing so much damage to him.
Yeah, he could pursue it, but at the same time, you know, he has some protection against the flames, and he can dodge it as well. We did have, I do believe, an 18 nade went in on DanielD's Flammenwerfer. Nice mortar hit on that conscript squad that actually threw the 18 nade on him, forcing him to retreat at 3 men. At the same time, I see another Flammenwerfer now from the opposing team on your side, from Arashenstein. He also has the exact same vehicle, just like DanielD. But it does look like the second team, the team that you're following, Arashenstein and Spanky, is kind of focusing on the 2 flanks, while the team I'm following, DanielD and Twister, is going for a more centric approach, trying to grab the center, trying to reinforce it, and then just go lightly on the flanks. We do have a Flamer combat engineer from Twister just capping all over this right-hand side of the map now, for example.
You see that very nice use of the Soviet sniper flare being used once again, because we saw that in the last game where we saw this team NKVD with Titty Twister and DanielD. They were using those Soviet sniper flares to really good effect, and it's good to see that they're still using those.
Whoa, I think that the Flammenwerfer might have killed a sniper in one of the Soviet scout cars there.
I think
that was
might be
a
right,
nice
because I
mortar
saw
hit.
a guy in a white coat fall out of the.
Yeah, he died. I saw that too. The camouflaged units are basically only snipers, as far as I've seen. They are the only one that uses that white camo clothing. Scout car out now as well from Arashenstein. At the same time, DanielD is building Pigrens from his tier 2 building, and he also has a pack in the center now. So that's going to be a nice, good, solid counter against the Flammenwerfer from Arashenstein and this scout car, which has now actually upgraded to the upgun, which means it could potentially go hunting all of the other light vehicles from the opposing teams, like the Soviet scout car and that Flammenwerfer. And that AT gun actually got decrewed. I'm not exactly sure by what. It just instantly got decrewed. That was strange.
Oh, that was nasty. Yeah, so nice use of the upgun. I'm going to be interested to see whether he uses that to try and counter the Flammenwerfer. But what is then going to counter the scout car? Will we see scout cars going up against each other to counter the half tracks and each other? This is going to get very abstract.
It's very, very strange seeing this Flammenwerfer now actually torching the Grenadier squad from DanielD. I think he tried to reach for a Panzerfaust, but he actually died before that happened. He might have actually frozen to death, funnily enough, as he was basically on fire. But you know, you can't win them all, I guess.
It's very cold out there.
It's really cold. Pure flame on you doesn't actually heat you up. You die anyways.
No. Oh my
Whoa!
god!
Do you see that mortar hit on that little shack with the MG?
I saw that. Yeah, that was.
Or the former shack, you should say, I guess.
Where there used to be 4 walls and a roof there.
There's a big hole in the roof and 1 wall, it looks like. Panzer Grenadiers out from DanielD now, and the AT gun on Spanky is using its artillery barrage, but it did get bundle-naded by those Pigrens, instantly decrewed, forcing him to retreat, and he now upgraded with Shrek, so he could potentially use attack move here on that AT gun and destroying it instantly. Very good, denying the recrew from Spanky. That's 360 manpower from that AT gun that he will not be able to reinforce or recrew at all. Now it's completely destroyed.
Spanky is, instead of replacing the AT gun, he has decided to get another conscript squad. I wonder if that's a reaction replay, possibly. To seeing those Panzer Grenadiers, he knows he doesn't need to worry so much about tanks, but he does have to worry about these very strong MP44 equipped infantry. However, we have the tier 4, the big tier 4 Soviet building here, the mechanized armor Kampanea, which is going to be producing probably some Su-85s, because Su-85 is very powerful. They're those long-range anti-tank tanks. But also you got things like Katyushas and stuff like that, so lots of variety in that tier 4 building.
I think you could do real good with an Su-76. You can use the artillery barrage on clumped up infantry, or if there's support weapons around somewhere like that more enemy mortar and pack, for example, an MG, MG42s, etc. But at the same time, you can fight the light vehicles from the opposing team with the Su-76. It's really good at killing things like half-tracks, for example.
Apparently, Panzerschrecks were not tuned to be very accurate against armored cars because it missed twice.
Twice, yeah. He did get a nice hit on the Flammenwerfer half-track from Arashenstein, forcing him to actually run away. I think the pack also almost hit it, but it actually missed. And a friendly mortar, I believe, combined with some P-grams from Arashenstein's, decreased this pack in the center again. It was retaken by DanielD, but it's yet again uncrewed, so it's going to be forced to recruit out again. We do have a scout car now from Twister trying to combat all of this infantry on the right hand side from Arashenstein, and small arms fire is enough to take it out. It did take him quite a while, however.
Just look at the map control though from Spanky and Arashenstein. They've capped almost the entire map, including now the sector which was previously locked down with an Opel Blitz truck. The Opel Blitz truck itself now actually getting targeted. Has a destroyed engine down here. It's the truck from DanielD in real trouble here. One more 18 aid and a bit of small arms fire, and it could be the end of that.
Yeah, he's forced to move back with his Flammenwerfer to protect that Opel Blitz truck against those conscripts, but it's just not getting close enough. He's trying to pad around here. Now he's trying to get these conscripts away from his Opel Blitz trucks. It is 200 manpower. You don't want to lose it just like that. Still, every bit counts.
Now, what's this squad? This is the artillery officer. Okay.
Four-man squad. They're fairly powerful.
I haven't actually used these, yeah, but apparently they are supposed to be very powerful. Apparently they can take on a conscript squad and win, assuming equal cover. So it's a powerful squad in its own right, and the ability to provide artillery support, obviously. But I haven't actually seen him in action yet. This is the first time I've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him in one replay that I just watched on my own before, and I didn't see him actually engage in too much action. But they do feel kind of durable. They're not that easily pushed around. We do now actually have a Su-76 out from Spanky. This Flammenwerfer and itself is kind of padding into each other. The Flammenwerfer doesn't really know where to go right now. He's got that Su-76 firing on him, but he also has this AT gun to deal with in the center, so if he runs past that now and gets targeted, he could potentially take it out. The armored car from Arashenstein is now hunting down that Flammenwerfer for DanielD.
He's got to go down here.
Yeah. Nice use of that armored car to counter the light vehicles from the opposing team. Nice pack shot on it, however. Now it's in a bit of trouble. It needs to get out of there before it actually reloads. It takes another shot on it. Luckily enough, it's going to get out of range, and it is getting artillery barraged by the Su-76, I think. Or was it that AT gun barrage? I'm not exactly sure.
The pack was actually targeted with the field gun there, which brought it down to just two men with very low health.
Su-76.
And we have a Katusha out.
Oh, Katusha had 15 minutes, not too bad, not too shabby at all. I do think when it comes to unit preservation, the team you're following, Arashenstein and Spanky, is doing a little bit better. The Flammenwerfer is still alive from Arashenstein, laying in the hurt here, but it is very, very damaged right now, and it could potentially go down to just small arms fire or another 18-8 from this V2 conscript squad from Twister.
Oh, we have some artillery coming in. There's an off-map going down on all these decrewed weapons here. Potentially a strafing run.
Oh, yep, strafing run used by DanielD to keep infantry away from the center. Katusha is answering back with some rockets into the center, but most of the things was actually relocated away from there. Here comes the plane again.
Huh, the armored car with the upgun can actually shoot it down.
Oh yeah, it can. The PE armored car.
Just like, yeah, just like Vico.
Yeah, just like in Vico. Not like, well, I think that both the PA armored car and the Puma could target aircraft.
Yeah, they could, although they were never very effective. Unless, of course, you were doing a strafing run over about 5 armored cars in one massive blob. Then your plane would normally go down.
But then you only have yourself to blame, really.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you would only really see planes getting shot down in Vico by the flak Wehrlings of a PE players, the base Wehrlings, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when
we have our first
happens.
Medium tank on the field now. It's a T-34 over here on the right-hand side, moving in to squish a couple of Panzer Grenadiers here, doing a lot of damage. They're actually in really bad shape here, on retreat, and they just pop Panzerschrecks.
Oh, if he loses that was so close. The T-34 just couldn't finish the job.
He's got to run the gauntlet through the flamers. The Grenadiers
Two Grens die. Down to one man each, and we do have another Grenadier squad from DanielD, but there is G43 equipped with 2 Grens.
Lucky, those guys.
Both of them actually manages to survive. Quite magical, I have to say. That was close. Pigrens from DanielD. From DanielD on the left-hand side against Spanky's conscripts. Look at them ripping them to shreds. They just have no chance without that SMG upgraded PPSHs. They can't really combat Panzer Grenadiers like that. Their damage output is just way too low compared to the STG-44s on the Panzer Grenadiers.
Oh yeah. Oh, we have a nice flank here. It's Grenadiers flanking the MG42 that was in the middle, using those G43s at close range. And wow, do those guys do a lot of damage. Especially now they're at Vet 2.
You have some PPSH upgraded conscripts from Twister trying to stop.
Wow, they just ripped right through 2 guys in the squad instantly.
They were very low health. Even.
And we're soon going to be seeing an Su-85 on the field.
Ooh, Katusha is firing on a shreked up Panzer Grenadier and that artillery officer from DanielD, but they were moving out of the way as the artillery barrage came into effect, so they didn't actually get hit by a single rocket. And now I actually think they are going artillery hunting the Su-76 in the middle of this blizzard. They can barely see that the Su-76 getting repaired by the Vet 2 combat engineers from Spanky. And he's most likely going to stick it out, even though due to the flamethrower damage it's potentially risky to drop your Panzer Shreks for your enemies. But he's going to stick it out and try to take this out. There goes the Su-76. There is the Su-85 in the base, but he is retreating after killing that light tank from Spanky.
The Arashenstein's armored car on the right-hand side was actually destroyed. This T-34 just came out of the mist, out of the blizzard.
Oh.
Totally caught it with its pants down, and that was the end of that.
We have double sniper squad from Twister, and he has gone for the PPSH upgrades on his conscripts, where he also, the same Doctrine where he can use Hit the Dirt, for example. Nice, that mortar is actually still alive, I think. Vet 2 now with 18 kills. That's not too bad, actually. It's being I think it was his 4th unit out of tier 1. That's not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I'm still waiting for Spanky to pick his first CP, because I'm really excited, because I can see there's a Doctrine that I don't recognize, that I haven't seen before. It's
NKVD, the one? No.
It's the it has a couple of abilities. It's got the recon flight. It's got the radio intercept.
Yeah, that's the NKVD.
Yes, the rifle disruption tactics. Yeah.
Yes, you get it at level 16, 18, something like that. I can't exactly remember, but it's one of the last ones that you can unlock in the closed beta.
And it's got this rather nifty ability I see in the middle, rapid conscription. Any soldiers lost will be replaced by conscripts. So it's kind of like that ability that the Germans have. Yeah, the Osttruppen ability.
Yeah, I think it's basically almost the same. So if you lose an entire squad, it will be replaced by conscripts. I believe that's how it's working, at least.
Yeah,
that's how the
I'm
Osttruppen
not
one
entirely
works.
sure. Yeah, I know how it worked in COH Online.
Which was utterly, completely
which
broken.
was horrible.
Yeah, terrible. Just no.
But I think it does work a little bit differently in this one. With the first Su-85 on the field now, firing down with that massive range of his. But he's going to be eating a Faust in the face.
I'm not actually sure what he's firing at, if he's just attack grounding with it. It kind of looks like it's attack grounding on it, or he's just trying to snipe the Grenadiers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's
after. It's not a very potent anti-infantry killer, I guess. You know, it's mainly only good for... It's barely even good for squishing stuff, because it just doesn't work that way.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's good at what it's supposed to do, though, which is destroying tanks.
Long range.
We have the classic Guards Doctrine has been chosen by Spanky. After all of that, he decided to go with Hit the Dirt and PPSHs. So we have seen our first PPSH upgrades coming in on the conscripts. More of them are upgrading as we speak.
It's Guards anti-tank tactics, I think, which is kind of odd considering there's not much anti-tank on those Guards apart from 2 anti-tank rifles. But apart from that, I don't think the Doctrine actually offers you anything, as it doesn't offer you a super tank destroyer.
But that's it.
Yeah, but that's not really potent against tanks.
More use of this field gun artillery being put to the test in the middle here against where I think an MG was.
Yeah, the MG was there. I think it relocated a little bit to the right. It's still around there somewhere, so a stray shot could maybe hit it, but it's most likely safe sitting where it's sitting right now. Combat engineers from Spanky capping that munitions point in the center, and it does look like the opposing team, the team you're following, Tommy, is losing out on VPs now. It's starting to hurt a little bit. They're already down to 288. compared to DanielD and Twister's teams, which is still at 449.
Oh, Katusha on this big blob of infantry here, but most of them are actually getting away
And
okay, and he retreats, so he's going to be totally fine. Yeah, I mean, they're losing out on VPs, the team that I'm following, but at the same time, they're doing very well in terms of map control. I mean, it's slightly worse just in the last minute or two. They've lost a little bit, but previously they actually held the cutoff
like everything
to the
almost.
to NKVD's fuel over there on the left-hand side.
Instant retreat from Twister due to a Flamer Pyo and Shrek'd up Panzer Grenadier from Arashenstein. He does not fancy the fight there when there's a flamethrower in the mix and 2 STG-44s still on those Panzer Grenadiers. And he retreats the other PPSH conscript squad as well. Maybe he's trying to be... Maybe saving up on manpower. He does have his first
manpower efficient.
Maybe, yeah. He does have his tier 4 up, I think. No, that is the tier 3. Tier 4 is up for DanielD, however, and a Panther is on the field.
Ooh, Panther now. That could definitely change up things.
Does he have something to fight? Oh, he does.
He has
an elephant.
An elephant. Oh boy.
I'm not exactly sure who wins that fight. This is going to be extremely interesting to see Panther versus
the
elephant.
Easily, surely the elephant should absolutely dominate the Panther.
But the Panther, if he gets nice and close, circle strafing that elephant is boned.
If he can get close enough. But I mean, you only need one other piece of supporting AT to keep the Panther at bay. The elephant should. I mean, the elephant, I think, is basically the king of anti-tank weapons in this game. I mean, nothing should really... No other tank will beat it in a head-to-head fight, I shouldn't think. I think it actually has stronger armor, even though I know it's the Panther that's renowned for having that really strong frontal armor. I think the elephant actually beats it out in terms of armor and health. It's an absolute behemoth.
We never had a proper counter.
Oh, it's firing at T-34s now from insane range.
Wow.
Oh my.
Wow! He shot at the T-34 was furthest away even.
That was insane.
Completely and utterly crazy. The range on that elephant tank is completely and utterly crazy. Honestly, such a long range.
The Panther doesn't really have a whole lot to shoot. It only has AT tanks to shoot at. And look at this, look at the range, look at the elephant firing at the Panther right now.
Oh, but he did bounce on the frontal armor.
He did bounce once, yeah, but he got 2 penetrations just prior to that. And Panther's gonna back away, but not before he took his fair amount of damage.
Yeah, I don't think that DanielD is very happy about seeing an elephant on the field just as his Panther hits the field at the same time, basically. I don't think he was counting on that. And obviously this being a mirror, a half mirror, mixed versus mixed, I guess everything is very, very different. If he would have built a Panther against a double Soviet team, his Panther would most likely reign supreme, considering there wouldn't be something like an IS-2 or an ISU-152 on the field by now.
Exactly. Although, of course, if the other side wanted to counter, they could always get an elephant of their own. Elephant versus elephant.
Who wins that fight? No one knows.
Oh my god! The field gun just owned a sniper squad. A whole sniper squad went down to 1 shell from the AT gun.
Really? I do feel and think that the Soviet AT gun is a little bit better at taking out infantry. Kinda like how Vico used to work sometime. But at the same time, the pack from the Oster is just more powerful than the Soviet one against anti-tank.
Well, it's quite possible that it does work like that because...
oh, look, this Panther now is actually pursuing the elephant. There are 3 conscript squad from
and
Twister.
And T-34 now as well. T-34 and 3 conscripts to throw in the AT nades. Oh boy, that
was a nice hit though.
Not in a good place.
Vision block, driver injured due to AT nades netting, I think 2 conscript squads hit Vet 3, at least 1, by delivering damage in the form of AT nades, and the elephant actually goes down and explodes, and I guess that Panther is superior to the elephant when it is getting bum rushed by everything on the field at the same time. He was completely and utterly outgunned
there, really. I mean, he didn't really have any infantry support, so he got AT naded very, very easily.
I think we have an artillery piece from Spanky in the base now, that 152mm gun howitzer.
Oh no, and the Su-85 even goes down to the Packer there in the middle.
Was it the Panther that coming in from the flank? No?
No,
Not
no,
exactly
it was,
sure.
the Panther did a lot of damage to it.
Oh,
but
there's the
was
pack.
killing blow.
The stolen pack, or I'm not exactly sure if
Is
it's
that
stolen
stolen?
or not, because it's crewed by Soviets. Let's just put it that way. It is crewed by Soviets and not Germans, so technically, I guess it's stolen or maybe borrowed. I don't know. This is so strange.
I think we might just have to pretend that these are, I don't know, defecting prisoners of war or something.
Yeah, let's just put it that way. That's gonna be weird. The pack actually gets decrewed and destroyed by a Katusha shell, I think. I see 2 conscripts retreating off field through the enemy base, so I'm guessing those are actually...
Yeah. They can just be like, hey guys, hey, what's up? Yeah, what's
I wonder if they give louder sight.
Yeah,
I can't
man,
actually
Russian
remember.
is awesome.
Mother Russia! I'm gonna retreat to your base, bye-bye. I'm gonna leave
See
now,
you
okay.
guys later. So Spanky's put up his first big old 152mm howitzer, now firing into the middle. It has insane scatter, but when it hits,
It hits like a
really
truck.
hits. Yeah, you sort of, it's a little bit like a Hummel in that respect.
Yeah.
Although it fires a lot of shells as well, so you've got a good chance of hitting whatever it is you're trying to hit. You know, you throw enough slurry at a barn door, and well, some of it's gonna stick.
Yeah, we did have those Vet 2 Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks from DanielD taking some splash damage from that on-map howitzer from Spanky, and they were brought down to maybe 1/4 health or something by just one shell, so it does do a lot of damage. If that shell was just an inch to the left, that whole squad would probably have been completely annihilated. But it does look like
the 3 flamer.
the Twister DanielD team is doing fairly good right now. They do have the right-hand side soon in their control. They're moving over quite a lot of forces there, and at the same time they do have some form of a hold on the center anyways. He's got the Panther there, an MG42, a mortar and stuff like that.
Ooh, AT gun might put an end to that though. Creeping into the middle now, forces the Panther back to repair. I mean, there's just that single mortar and MG there in the middle, so a good push from the Arashenstein and Spanky team could see the end of
Off-map
it, but
used somewhere, I think at the
it's on the right-hand
church.
side.
Oh,
he did
he
retreat
retreats.
just in the nick of
Fragmentation
time. What?
bombs
Yeah.
were used on those 2 Gwen squads, but the Arashenstein did notice and actually left, so that was good. Otherwise he would most likely, potentially at least, have lost those 2 squads, and they're better as well.
Oh,
Two
we have
shots.
another elephant out from Arashenstein. It looks like if at first you don't succeed, build another elephant. And why not? Because, you know, as long as he can support it, it's, you know, it's going to be effective in any situation you put it in, really.
Yeah, the range is just so insane on those elephants
It's
as
so
well.
ridiculous. I'm interested. I wonder whether it has the same range as the ISU or not. Because the ISU has some pretty insane range, but the elephant
It is
has
quite long ranged as
really
well.
insane
I'm not
range as well,
exactly
so-
sure which one is better, range-wise at least. I find that the ISU 152 is more of an anti-infantry tank, however, but it does tango quite decently with medium armor, but it can't
it's
really
okay
take
against
on
medium armor,
Panthers, etc.
Ideally, you want to be in a situation where the meteor armor is sitting on a nice bit of frozen water.
Whoa!
Then you're okay.
The on-map from Spanky takes out the crew on that MG, leaving just a sliver of weapon health left on that MG as well. It's still recruitable there in the center, just on top of the center VP. At the same time, we do have DanielD and Twister reacquiring the right-hand side of the map, so they still have 2 VPs in their control. At the same time, we do have a nicely made half-track from DanielD to be able to get around the field nice and quickly with a Pioneer squad in it, so it can actually cap at the same time.
Ah, very nifty. But he's got to watch out though. Those 18 nades can really do a number on those half tracks. As long as he keeps kiting though, he should be okay.
Yeah, he just needs to stay away so he doesn't get the 18 aided.
We've got a brand new SU-76 is now out from Spanky. Seems sort of hilariously outgunned now that we're sort of into the stage of the game where elephants and panthers are on the field. But I mean, when I want to see them line up side by side because they're kind of like the same. You know, they're both like self-propelled guns. Neither of them have a turret. It's just
They're
like
similar.
You've got the bigger brother and the baby. I wouldn't even say little brother. That wouldn't really it wouldn't do the elephant proper justice.
Do have 2 squads, a Grenadier with G43s and a Pigran squad actually forced off on the right-hand side. There's an off-map used by Arashenstein on those T-34s. It's actually doing fairly good damage I'm not exactly sure how big those cannons are, but I think it's somewhere around the vicinity of 20-23 millimeters or whatever it is. But they're actually fairly decent against medium armored vehicles, light vehicles and infantry.
Oh yeah, no, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. I mean, if you look at the VPs, I mean, they're getting seriously low now.
A plane just crashed basically south of the Soviet
base.
I
see that.
I saw the icon on the minimap and just basically vanished in the middle of the map, and I was like, what? That's kind of weird, you know. Something must have happened, and it got shut down by something, but I don't know what.
Spanky is building up a very nice flank here. He's got 2 SMG-armed conscript squads. One of them at vet 3, the other at vet 2. Putting in a very nice flank on a Grenadier squad here. And now coming up from behind, a Panther, chucking an 18-8 on it, giving it that damaged engine. But there's an off-map also coming in on top of them. It's a strafing run.
Strafing run from DanielD was used to force off those 2 flanking conscripts from Spanky. They instantly get out of the way. There's not much point in hanging around when you get constantly pinned by that strafing run. I'm not exactly sure what that plane Spanky used was on. Is that? Oh!
That was the IL-2 loiter.
Oh, it's doing fairly good damage to this lightly armored half-track from DanielD.
Oh yeah, it's got some pretty serious weaponry on that thing.
Yeah, it's gonna most likely take it out now. Oh, so close!
So nearly dead.
So far away.
Surely
Destroyed
it's
engine,
gonna
no
go down.
health. Main gun destroyed actually from the
Every
flamethrower.
critical under the sun. But the IL-2, it's gone away for the day. It's gone back to refuel. We won't be seeing him again.
Or restock on rounds at least. We do have a triple cap against DanielD and Twister right now, but they are reclaiming this right-hand side BP.
And the left-hand side one for that matter. As soon as they...
Depends.
Oh, I don't know. Who's going to win?
Depends on who wins.
Flamer or regular fire?
Vet 3 Flamers gotta win that. I'm not exactly sure of the veterancy bonuses for 3 is durability, just like most of the Soviet troops. So they're very survivable at vet 3, extremely survivable. Just like conscripts, they also get a double durability buff on vet 2 and vet 3, I think.
Double T-34 is opening up as the conscript wave exits the southern bases.
Yeah, they just need to exit their bases and stop this drain now. That team down to 32 VPs compared to Twister and DanielD that I'm following, which is still sitting fairly okay on 400. Not really much
Whoa,
of a risk.
look at that. Spanky's artillery just took off half the health from one of those T-34s.
A serious amount of damage from that. If he gets a nice hit, he could potentially take them both out. Oh, but they actually moved out of the way. If they would have been put stationary there, they would have probably died there. And that was way off target, completely off target. A nice 18A goes in on the mostly damaged T-34. Here comes the rocket that almost destroys it. Destroyed engine. It cannot
that thing
move now.
has no health. I mean, literally no health.
There's a T-34 that was used to ram the elephant from Arashenstein on the right-hand side of the map, so that's completely useless now. But there is a boom bar trying to take out that T-34 Vet 2 from Twister, but it doesn't have any main guns, so the T-34 can't defend itself. It's just basically sitting there like a sitting duck right now. It's completely destroyed whenever they want to kill it, but this boom bar is just moving
T-34
towards the right-hand
survived
side.
the ram. I mean, its gun survived the ram.
Oh, did it?
It's still
Oh,
firing.
it did. Oh, yeah. I didn't even pay attention to that. I thought it was dead.
That's unusual. I thought it always got destroyed, but evidently not. I mean, all it needs is just one Faust in the rear and it would go down, but they just can't afford to do anything except just charge after the VPs right now. They're so low, 25, and they're still double capped.
Yeah, and they can't really go to the right-hand side. They got no infantry even in the close vicinity to that VP, and it's very, very, very far away now for Spanky and Arashenstein. Nice artillery hit on that MG that was recrewed, and it might actually potentially take out more than that. Katyushas are raining down as well. The DanielD and Twister taking quite a lot of damage, but they do have VP control, 2 against 1.
We've got a loitering IL-2 is sort of coming down and strafing these broken tanks in the middle.
Wow, it's doing fairly decent damage to that elephant.
Well, that was friendly fire. That was friendly fire.
T-34 go down to friendly fire, really?
T-34 went down to friendly fire from the plane.
From the off
I think it was technically... Whoa! Those panzer grenadiers just got minced.
Yeah, At least the one guy.
Strafing run is seriously powerful.
But it does always hit. It's not like the strafe, the normal strafing run from the Germans that seem to be targeting, you know, it kind of is free flying. It doesn't always hit in the exact same spot, which that IL-2 attack, that seems to be hitting in the same spot basically where you've placed it over and over again, like 3 times.
This elephant is having a bad day. He's just 1 penetration away.
The drain is stopped, however, but Twister is reclaiming the one on the right-hand side, combined with some Pigrens, vet 3 from DanielD, and the opposing team is down to 14 VPs. But the middle one is getting reclaimed by a recruit MG, a Pyro recruit one. And we do now have a second Panther on the field from DanielD, and that Storm Panzer, the broom bar on the right-hand side, gets taken out and abandoned. So even if this game drags on more than this, they could potentially steal that and use it to their own.
This elephant has finally met its match, I think, with a Panther shooting in the rear, but just look at how much health it has. How long is this thing survived? And it's even abandoned. They could even steal that and the Brumbar. Imagine that. Suddenly getting a Brumbar and an elephant. It would just be insane.
I just saw the tank commander crawl out of the top hatch and basically face plant on the ground. That was pretty funny.
Oh, and the Su-77, yeah, Su-85 has a similar fate.
Oh, nice Katusha hit, but this might potentially be friendly fire from Spanky, but it seems he only fired 1 barrage and then cancel it.
Are they gonna get the VP cap? It's
2 VPs.
Close.
Almost whiting it in the center. They did white it. 1 VP left. This is kind of like Beta Cast 2 that we did on the same map. Where is this where the comeback from the Soviets begin? They have 377 enemy VPs to drain, but I think it might be a bit much. Whoa, did he just Katusha his own conscripts?
Too much stuff here.
Well, they kind of have to suicide stuff.
They actually managed to get the full cap there, but now they're forced away and they're going to lose it. They have no chance of holding it onto it anymore. The one on the left's getting capped, the one in the middle's getting capped. No way they can deal with all this. I think this is the dying moments of the defector team to Spanky and
so they're the
Arashenstein.
defectors, both the Soviet.
I don't know. I mean, NKVD. It sounds, you know, that's like Russian Spetsnaz. They sound much more loyal.
Why do they have Germans on their side then?
Because they use them Jedi mind tricks to make them switch sides.
Which was so potent in World War II. You saw that was used
actually,
everywhere.
in World War II, I'll have you know, those Jedi mind tricks.
They were very, very, very powerful, making enemies defect to your
just
cause.
Instantly convert.
Yeah,
it's like Age of Empires 2. They just go oh, and then they just flip over.
They just flip over on their bellies. Is that how it works? This was very entertaining, but at the same time extremely, extremely strange. I'm not actually sure what happened after the match. I tried to commentate, but I couldn't really go Oster, Soviet. It was just all like Grenadier, Grenadier, Conscript. Why is the 2 Flammenwerfers chasing each other? Is this some kind of a game? I'm not exactly sure what's going on.
The Benny Hill music, I think.
Yeah, I think no, I'm not gonna edit in Benny Hill music again. I already did that once. Once is fine, once is fun, but more than that, no, it's getting a bit tiresome and silly. Very, very cool game. I think that Spanky and Arashenstein, they should have really just kept at it after that. You know, early mid game, they had the opponents basically pinned in their bases almost. They had like 3 sectors or something left. But apart from that,
they had great map control.
They had everything. It was all red on my screen.
Yeah, I think, you know, maybe you could put it down to perhaps the new upkeep system is just, even though the original upkeep system favored comebacks, the new upkeep system is like, whoa, you know, now you know, you get injected with, you know, adrenaline and stim packs, and it's like go go go. As soon as you start flagging and your army gets a little bit smaller and your enemies gets a little bit bigger, so that does come into play.
Yeah, I guess so. But we did have quite. I think that the unit preservation from DanielD and Twister was one of the factors why they actually won this game, because most of the infantry, the mainline infantry from DanielD at least, he's got 2 Vet 3 Grenadiers, a Vet 3 Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks, which makes them even more deadly. He's got a Vet 2 Panzer Grenadier. Even that artillery officer survived, and it's Vet 1 actually. It didn't see as much actions as I wanted to. It just seemed to be hanging around and then retreating, and
It's
then
just
hanging
chilling,
around a bit.
just
Yeah.
looking nice.
And some nice play and some nice teamwork from DanielD and Twister assaulting that first elephant, for example. That was really,
Yeah, it was very nice.
quite a turning point, I think, because if that elephant would have been left alone and then taken out DanielD's Panther, for example, and then T-34s from Twister as well, then infantry superiority and tank superiority from Spanky and Arashenstein could have turned it around, I think. But good teamwork taking out that first elephant, because I think that was a threat.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it was good stuff all around. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to leave us a comment and let us know your feedback. Do like this video if you enjoyed it, and tell your friends. And we will see you. Well, this may in fact be our last beta cast, because the beta goes offline today.
Yep, this is 30th of April when we're recording this. It will be released when it is released, whenever that is. And I'm actually sure in 1 week, maybe next week or something like that. So sometime in May, you will be watching this most likely. And apart from maybe other videos that we release from the closed beta, this is the last proper shoutcast at least. So hope you guys have enjoyed, and hopefully we can continue doing this with the open beta and then with retail, and then maybe flesh out some tournaments TFN style. We never know what's gonna happen yet. We'll see in the future. Thanks guys for watching. See you guys.
Thanks guys.